Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to my new playlist series called Holistic Love. Okay, so as you can see here, I got my husband Ryan. Say hi.
Hey, what's going on?
And I'm super excited because we have a lot to share with y'all, and some people ask questions that we will be answering. So make sure to watch until the end so you won't miss the answer. Before we get into questions, let me just talk about us for a little bit, okay? Our age. Okay. So I'm 27 and my birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks, just to put that out there. But I'm 27 and you are
28.
Ryan, you're 29.
Yeah, right, you right.
He's 29. And we've been together since 2009. So going on 13 years next month. And we've been married since 2016. And that will be 6 years next month as well. So we ain't new to this game. We true to this. We ain't no rookies. Since then, we've had some children. We have left our hometown, Christianity, toxic food. We've left a lot of things. And you will get a chance to learn more about us as you continue to tune into this Holistic Love playlist. Without further ado, the first question is, when did you meet? We met in like 2005, 6, but our relationship began in 2009. How old were we when we had our children? We had 3 children by the time I was 21. 21. Since then, we have relocated. We've lived in a couple of houses, actually. A lot of people always want to know, like, if like they should live with their partner before getting married, or is that even important? We would say what?
I would say definitely because you don't really know someone until you actually live with them. Know like what their habits are, what their living situation, what they're accustomed to doing. Kind of makes a big difference. So you can try to go to the traditional way and say, "Oh, we're not playing house, this, that, and third." But when you don't know that type of stuff prior to you getting married, like, and you get married, and now you found out that this person is not as cleanly as you may want them to be, or they have certain tendencies that are non-negotiable for you, or vice versa. So to me, we're not into any type of traditional norms as it is. So it's like, for that, we don't really consider that even something that we would even be subjected to. But to answer the question, I would say it's important, if you want to be with someone, then you need to be all in. And part of that is being able to be around that person as much as possible so you can actually figure out what's going on. I mean, everything comes in perfect timing. Everything comes in it's a time restraint for a lot of things. The perfect time is going to be the perfect time. But I don't think that you shouldn't move in with someone, or you shouldn't figure out what that is, because ultimately that could be a deal breaker. And it is a deal breaker for a lot of individuals, because once you live with someone, you get to see like their total picture from a realistic outlook.
From there, we have lived in about a couple places together.
And that was, it
We
was good.
lived.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
good for her
true.
because we
We
like
got
this.
that experience.
We got that experience because it was some things that we had to, both of us had to give
we
up,
had to
change,
experience.
change, give up, and basically find mediums. And we would never had that type of experience
If
we
like we just
didn't,
skipped that.
we skipped that part, or if we would have skipped it, we would have. Who knows? I know I like certain things a certain way, and I'm like kind of anal about it. So it's like, if we want to have that type of experience, and if Dee didn't have the opportunity to kind of either mend her ways or adjust or whatever like that, we probably wouldn't be sitting here today, because it
Yeah.
would have been like, yo, I can't live like this, I won't live like this, and vice versa. So it'd been some things that I've done that she would be like, yo, I can't deal with this. This is non-negotiable for me. So us
Mm-hmm.
living together for such a long time prior to being married, this, that, or third, that really helped us, because it gave us a full picture of what it was going to be like for us to continue down this path together. So we were able to adjust, negotiate, let things go, mature, and just, be synchronized.
We had to adjust to paying bills together.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking together, cleaning, taking care of the children together. Like, it was like a time where we had to work as one, like, all the time.
Which was new because we're both kind of, well, we were both
Yeah.
independent at that time. So
Yeah.
it was the way I did things and the way that she did things, and it was like, all right, so now we got to do it together. So it was like, just because I do it this way doesn't mean that my way is better than your way, and vice versa. So it was just, a lot of it was immaturity, because we didn't know no better. We were so young and still young. So we had to learn that. Then it was, a lot of it was just that we were learning. Like, we were still new to life. So one thing about having children young, start a family young, that you don't have the life experiences that will come, that other people, couples will have. So we were learning all this within the time of trying to find ourselves too. So it made things a little bit more complicated than it possibly could have been if we would have waited. But we wouldn't have had it any type of way, because without those days, we wouldn't have the days we have now.
Yeah.
So
another question that a lot of people ask me privately is how it was to leave my hometown.
Easy. To me, it was easy, because it was just, I always been the type that I'm gonna do my own thing, and I always had an impeccable work ethic. So most time when people want to leave, or they want to relocate, they worry about work, and they worry about this, that, and the third. I never worried about that, because I know at the end of the day, if I got to work 3 jobs, make it happen, I'll do that. That's no problem. Because after the experience we had back home with the drama, the influences, leaving the church, changing our diet, all that type of stuff, it was peaceful. So once you add that piece into it, just moving away to be in a place of peace, moving away to be into a place that where we can kind of build like our own empire in itself. It was easy. It was like, it was a no-brainer. So it was like, from that aspect, it was extremely easy for me. It was a big move, but it was an easy move. It was a right move.
It just felt right.
It felt right, and it would just happen. So that's what made me even more, is like, yo, this makes perfect sense, because when everything happens in perfect timing, and we had our antennas wired at that time to pick it up, and we just followed the call. So that made it that much easier.
Yeah.
So when you know something's supposed to be for you, it makes it easy for you to do it, because you're not questioning it.
Let's get into these plant-based questions that a lot of people have asked us. Are you going to sleep?
No, it's just, I don't. What?
Because you turning your head, and how can you talk? You can't talk like this.
Well, I'm gonna turn when I go to.
Okay. All right. So one of the questions from one of my followers, I don't really like calling people my followers, because I don't want people to follow me. In a sense, I just want people to be inspired. So one of my inspirers, I like that. One of my inspirers asked, are we vegan? No, we're not vegan. I personally don't like titles,
labels, boxes,
and all of that. So don't call me that, because that comes with its own baggage.
Right. You put some leather shoes on, someone's calling you a fraud. It comes with a lot of political stuff. So we don't like any type of like labels, any type of stuff. But we are very conscious of what we eat, and we don't eat any type of flesh or any type of stuff. But reason why we don't go by vegans, because we don't like the stigma that goes along with it. Because we ain't in with all that hoopla, like,
oh, I'm plant-based, oh, I'm vegan, and and oh, I'm keto and I'm kosher
and all
and
that
I'm
type of shit. And you just as mean as nasty and just
yeah,
as
and you just as
as
sick.
broke down and just get
You
out of
just
here,
as
bro.
tore up.
Yeah, how you vegan and you in a terrible place spiritually? Get out of here, bro. Like,
You can stop eating animals all you want, but that
like,
does not take place of
right.
yes, spiritual work. The next question would be, whose idea was it to transition to a plant-based lifestyle, and was getting on board easy, or did it have its ups and downs? So whose idea?
It was yours, and she started it off, and I followed up probably about a couple months afterwards. So like she inspired me to do it. Then of course I won't say I had it up and down. It was just an adjustment period. But for myself, it was kind of easy because I'm like a very disciplined person. So once I start a regimen, once I get a routine, and once I make my mind up to something I want to do, I'm like hell bent on achieving that goal. So in that aspect, it was easy for me. As far as like our children, it was just new for them. So we're the type that we don't lie to our kids under no circumstances. So it's like we just explain to them the reason why we're not drinking juice no more because it's not good for you and this, that, and third. So once we took those things away and we replaced it with uh, holistic alternatives, and we told them why, that became easier for them too. I mean, it was difficult for them because they're so used to, having
Sweet stuff,
sweet
just
stuff,
like me,
right? And
just like I
having
was.
candies and all different type of stuff. So it was kind of ripping a band-aid off them. But once a couple weeks, they were fine.
And they're ooh, that sounded country. And their children adjust
Right.
way better than what we do. Okay, people might feel like, oh my gosh, I can't change what my child eats because then they'll be feeling terrible and they'll be screaming and hollering and they'll be crying. And no,
They screaming and hollering
because you allow them to. Yeah, no,
and shit.
no. We don't play that. No, we're not going to eat this. You will live. You won't die. Like, relax. Try this, something new. And I'm with you the whole way. What we're not going to do is throw tantrums, cry, scream, and no.
Well, that was never
over a Pop-Tart. No.
Right. Well, that was never
I
in
don't
the
think so.
equation anyway. None of our children.
Yeah,
never,
true.
Like,
yeah, true. But still. The next question. Do you feel this plant-based journey has brought the two of you closer together? And if so, in what ways? Yes, I know for a fact that it has, because I could just feel it when we are just together. When we have sex, it's a more rich connection, and a lot of it has to do with what we are eating, our mindsets, and where we are spiritually. And that, I mean, as it is, makes everything closer together. I can honestly say going plant-based and being on this holistic path together has brought us closer than we have ever been. And I'm so excited to just move closer with you. I am. Are you excited to move closer with me?
I suppose so.
Ryan, stop playing. I'm not playing for real. Are you excited? Okay. Is everyone plant-based, and was the process hard? Yes, everyone is plant-based. And the process was exactly that. A process. Like any process takes time. It takes challenges. It takes trial. It takes patience. It was a process.
To answer the question, was it difficult?
What?
You didn't answer the question.
I did. I said, is everyone plant-based, and was the process hard? Everybody is plant-based, and the process was a process.
But was it hard? I would say no. I say no. To me, it wasn't hard. To you, do you think it was hard?
It was different.
Yeah, I won't say it was hard.
I wouldn't ever say it was hard, because then that puts an energy out that people would think, oh, well, it must be hard for other people to like try to go plant based.
I can't do it.
It is what you call it to be. If you call it to be hard, then it's going to be hard. It is what it is. It is what you call
talk
it
about
to be.
Transition. That's hard. What's harder than that? Living with diabetes, living with cancer, living with underlying diseases, living with that's hard.
Yeah.
No, that's hard.
Now that is hard.
No, that's hard.
Yeah.
So that's all about your perception of it. So if you perceive it to be hard, then it's gonna be hard. But to us, it wasn't a difficult transition because we understood what it meant not only for our anatomy but for our entire wellness as a family and as individuals. So for that, it was a challenge for us to be able. It's something that we just continue to grow towards. So it was that. It wasn't hard. It was just.
It was what it was.
Something new.
Do we plan on having more kids? Do you want more children? Well, if it happens, are you going to have?
If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Do I want more children? Yes, I do. I love pregnancy. I love childbirth. Like, all of that is me. I love it. I do want more children. I am content with the ones I have. But would I love to hold and smell and touch and tickle and feed another little baby? Yes, I would. When and how did you know? So how did we know that this was it? Like, we were a couple forever into infinity and beyond.
When we made a decision that we wanted to kind of live our own lifestyle and do the thing that we wanted to do, and it felt right. It was like, all right, I'm okay with going against everything that we know to be correct and those old traditional mindsets along you by my side. So once I had that type of once I had that type of understanding, then it was
like,
I don't need
this is it. Yeah.
Right, I don't need nothing else. I'm good.
The greatest challenge that you had to overcome in order to be together.
Walking away from outside influences.
That was the greatest.
Yeah, how we were raised, our parents' influence,
society's
influence, our church influences. We basically told everybody this is the way that we're living. If you don't like it, then there's the door. And we meant it, and we followed through with it. And it was some friction between our family, between our friends, between everybody for a little while because it was an abrupt change between us.
Yeah, so it was new.
It was new
for them and for us.
So it's like, it was a lot of friction, especially coming from a typical black family. What do you mean you don't eat pork? Or what do you mean you don't eat fried chicken?
Or what do you mean you're gonna pack up and you're gonna move?
What do you mean you don't believe in Jesus Christ? What do you mean that you don't? So it was a lot of.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? a lot of things that were said that was harsh, but it was just because it was new. So once they got to see like how we were living, then they start seeing the proof. Because the type of lifestyle we live now and what we're able and capable of doing, it's like, whoa, I don't know what they believe in, but something's working over there.
Yeah.
So it's like that was the biggest thing. So just basically just separating ourselves from outside influences, only worried about ourselves and what happens within inside of our house. Everything took off from there. That was the biggest obstacle.
How do we open more people's eyes to this world's way of tearing us down?
Don't put the ball in their court. You got to work. Each individual need to become the best version of themselves, and everything else will fall into place. A better individual means for a better movement. Everyone needs to go down this true journey of self-love. Identify their shortcomings, make your shortcomings your specialty. Become a better individual, and society won't have no choice but to recognize your true power because you're going to be empowered by that.
Our last question is, what goals do you have individually and as a family for 2022? So my personal ones are the same as what they were in 2021, just turn it up a notch. So continue to heal, continue to explore, expand, experience, continue to just love myself and to rediscover and remember who I truly am, and just to let that light come out and permeate throughout the world. Like, that's just what I've been over here over here doing the whole time, and I ain't stopping. So what about you?
I would say um, develop my tolerance for this society's way of creating a false reality in a real world. So it's like, even like now, like I'm not as active on social media because I'm so tired of the fake stuff. I'm so tired of the jargon, so tired of the propaganda and the impact
Just
of
the
social
matrix.
media. Yeah, just the social matrix, but just how social media is driven everything. Everyone right now is like weird because everything is like artificial. Everything's fabricated. So it's like not any type of realness or any type of authenticity within the real world. So it's like, for me, I have like a zero tolerance for that. So I think I just need to develop some patience with individuals and entities, because it wanes on me, and I just want to just throw my phone away, just go live on an island somewhere and not deal with no one, which isn't a bad thing. But however, when it starts to wane on you, starts to change like my personality, when it starts to change like my overall spirit, that's when I know I need to figure out a better way to kind of
To cope.
To cope with this. So my goal is to develop patience and awareness when I start to encounter those type of things. The way I don't become someone or something that I'm not.
And then our goals as a family for 2022, just to experience more and just to keep
travel more.
Yeah, travel more, experience more, continue to heal and to live as healthy as we know how. Continue
learn a second language.
Okay. Continue to be open to life. And that's pretty much it. So that concludes our first Q&A. Ryan, stop.
Man, this is
Look at your face.
Look. It's too long, man. It's like
you did good.
I'll get that, but come on, let's
okay. Don't clap at me. Thank you for coming into my video. And I really appreciate you. Ryan, stop. Look, y'all. He's not listening to nothing now I'm saying. It's going right in his ear.
Because you keep dragging it out.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. I have to go because I got to feed the family.
Yeah, come on. You keep talking. Just say. All right, we'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.
Please excuse him. So, thank you for watching our first Q&A. I hope that this inspires, it encourages, it empowers some people, some couples, some families out there. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you won't miss when we drop the next Holistic Love video. Thank y'all so much and stay tuned.